Hey gamers, it's G from the corner. Now, you might have noticed there's been quite a bit of Kirby content on the corner lately, and a lot of it is obviously, topical. There's been 2 Kirby releases this year. Well, one has already come out, the other is coming out in a few months. Kirby Air Riders. This is a game that I am so extremely excited for. It's a sequel to Kirby Air Ride on the GameCube, fully revitalized, reimagined. I cannot wait for this game. And at the Direct, they had basically explained that the reason why the game is called Kirby Air Riders is because there are multiple riders in the game. Originally, there was only Kirby, and Meta Knight and DDD were there as like separate characters, but like they were basically, it was like you pick the carts or you pick Meta Knight or DDD, one or the other, right? They were essentially card options. But now there's a bit of layer. There's some layers to it. Now you pick a character with their own abilities and a cart with its own abilities, or a machine as they are called, and I think that's going to lead to such a fun gameplay system. And they revealed about 12 characters, I think it was, in the Direct itself, and they could not have picked a better 12 characters to reveal, because that communicated that basically nothing is off the table here. And for the first time ever, I get to sit here and do a Kirby roster prediction video. I mean, we got characters from all over the series, whether Sakurai directed the game or not. You got characters, classics like Kirby and DDD, obviously, but then you got Suzy and Magalore from like the modern games, and then gluppo enemies like Starman and Cappy. Like, oh my god, this is gonna be such a banger roster. When I saw Starman, I knew I had to make this video. Today, we're gonna be perusing the Kirby wiki, Kirby. Special thanks to Kirby for providing some visual to my madness, because there was no way I was going to be able to get individual footage of all the enemies and characters I wanted to talk about. And we're going to be talking about all the possible characters that I want to see in this game, that make sense to be in this game. We're going to go crazy. We're going to talk about literally everything here. Okay, so let's start. We're on the homepage. Obviously, new and upcoming Kirby games are this and Air Riders, of course. But let's just go right into the characters, okay? So obviously, plenty have already been confirmed, Did you know Kirby's been in every Kirby game aside from DDD's Drum Dash Deluxe? That's some good information. Okay, we're going to be here all day if we skip. Okay, so here's my thing. Bandana Waddle Dee, he's in this game, but Waddle Dee, standard Waddle Dee is not. I don't really see why you put standard Waddle Dee in this game. I think it'd be really funny if they put, like, Parasol Waddle Dee in this game. Like, you have Bandana Waddle Dee, the character, and Parasol Waddle Dee. I think that'd be funny. I love that dinky Waddle Doo render from Return to Dreamland. It's so good. So good. Yeah, Meta Knight. Nightmare! Okay, our first character. He's a character. I don't think he makes it in. He's kind of a larger-than-life sort of character. But okay, alright. The animal buddies. This is a hot topic. Funnily enough, Kine is actually visible on the background of a stage in this game already. That's right, in the water stage, you can actually see him plainly in the background. He shows up and he spits out some water. I feel like you wouldn't have put him there if you were going to make him a full-on playable character. So, I'm going to say that he's not going to make it. But I feel like if you're going to do, if you're putting Starman in this game and you're putting Gooey in this game, you got to put like one animal buddy in the game, right? I think Rick, Rick's obviously the icon. So, maybe he gets in. Maybe they do Koo. Maybe they do both, honestly. I want to lean towards Rick, but the thing is I can't think of much that Rick can do. Koo, I could imagine you firing out those, 3 projectiles when you make, a perfect landing, or, a charge. I say projectile. The 3 feathers. He, fires 3 feathers when you have the color ability, maybe something like that. Rick, I can't fathom. He really is just kind of the everyman, copy ability. Maybe he's, or copy, animal buddy. He doesn't have that much unique about him. Gooey is already in. Dark Matter. Ooh, man. Okay, so Dark Matter is an interesting one. It looked like what we saw at the end of the trailer was a King DDD version of the Dark Matter Swordsman, but we'll see what that ends up being when the game comes out. That's a whole nother can of worms or video. I don't even know if I have the power to make that video. Some other Kirby lore masters are gonna have to do that one for me. Yeah, Dark Matter. He's pretty. He's a reoccurring character. Now, Gooey is kind of already Dark Matter. Gooey's super. He actually turns into his little Dark Matter form, and the eyeball is on his back. So he already basically looks like Dark Matter. But, if the DDD thing isn't just straight up Dark Matter, then I guess you can make Dark Matter Swordsman playable. And he's already playable. Dynablade is a hazard. They ain't putting the Galactic Nova in the car. If they put Galactic Nova in a machine, that'd be so funny. Marks is a lock. Marks is 100%. There's rumors about a September Direct happening next week, or well, at the time of this recording next week. Fingers crossed to actually get the video up before then. I will be shocked if this game shows up there and Marks is not revealed as a playable character. This is like he's a supporting character, and he's in a game that Sakurai directed. Like, obviously, he's obviously gonna get it. He's a lock. He's a lock. Not Mr. Star, not Nago, not True. I don't think any of those they're gonna get in. Like, if Rick is a maybe to me. Who knows? I could be eating crow in like a week when they announce like the other 5 animal buddies and Kind's just not. I mean, they could even say Kind's playable. Screw it. I don't even know. Dark Matter Cloud. Is this a character? Why is it listed? No, it first appears in 3. Zero. Okay, so is Zero 2 a separate character? Yeah, he is. Okay. I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be really funny if Zero or Zero 2 were playable. They could be City Trial stage hazards. Hopefully they haven't shown off like all the bosses that you can encounter in City Trial. Hopefully there's at least 1 or 2 more. They haven't shown any of the Dragoon bits, so I feel like there's a lot that they're hiding from us. But like, it'd be cool if they showed up in some form. Ribbon and Adeline, again, also locks, considering that Sakurai games are 100% on the table. The other most popular, like, one-off characters in the series are probably going to make it in. I could see Adeline and Ribbon being treated as a duo, like in Star Allies, or I could see them be separate, or if anything, just Adeline makes it in. But, like, 100% you're going to be able to main the Painter Girl in Kirby Air Riders, which is an amazing sentence. I can't believe that we get to talk about again, I get to do roster speculation for a Kirby game, and I could literally say that anything is possible. Dark Meta Knight is already deconfirmed via skin. Again, these are like big boys. I don't really see them being like good labels. The Roach is another like number 1, like he's got to make it in. I think that like Marks is like obviously in, and then followed by Adeline, and then followed by him. I think those are like the 3 other big characters from. Oh, maybe like, okay, we'll get to Elflin a little bit, but like he's definitely one that's got to show up here. Dark, no, not Dark Nebula. I am very sad to report that Galactonites is just a skin for Meta Knight, and it's not like he actually turns into Galactonites. He literally a direct rip of his Smash model. At least like I don't know, the render looks exactly like it. It's unfortunate. I was kind of hoping this would, we get to play as Galactonite. He's such a cool character. I feel like they've kind of retired him almost. There was all this speculation that he'd show up in Starcross World, and spoilers alert, he doesn't. So I feel like maybe they're kind of done with him, and they don't really want him to be around much anymore. It feels weird talking about Epic Hero and stuff. I mean, probably not, no. Megalor's already confirmed. They could put the dragon in, I don't know. Taranza is another, like, highly likely one. If we don't get every single character that would fit like the Dream Friend tier in Star Allies, where they're that like major character that appeared in one game, then like I could see he's probably the first or second one to not make it low key. But who knows? Again, maybe he could be revealed like ASAP, and that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't think a line makes it in. Susie's already confirmed. I think Haltman would be cool, but I can't really envision like anything. That's the other thing, right? Like I feel like it's not just we're putting everyone here to have everyone here. Like I think they're putting in characters that would be cute and surprising and interesting to play as. Like I can't think of what Haltman would do that Susie doesn't already. I mean, Susie's moveset in like Star Allies is a lot of Haltman. Well, she had her own mech, like okay, whatever. Haltman, I can't think of much. The 3 Mage Sisters, again, major supporting character. I feel like you have to put all 3 in. I feel like they're gonna jam all 3 together, like in Star Allies, if they were to be in the game. I could envision like a cool switching mechanic, actually, like a sort of like, you charge and then it switches to the other one and they have elemental properties. I think that'd be really cool. I was gonna originally say I don't think I could see the Mage Sisters making it in, but never mind, honestly. Low-key, they'd be sick. They totally work. What else do we got here? Morpho Knight. He probably makes it. Yeah, I think like because they gave him they gave Meta Knight a Dark Meta Knight skin and a Galactonite skin. It's been long enough. They totally would put in a Morpho Knight skin if he wasn't gonna make it in. I think he totally is gonna be a secret character or something in this game, which is gonna be super cool. It's gonna be great. Elflin's another big one. They just released a Switch 2 edition of Forgotten Land. It's clearly a game that they care a lot about promoting and pushing. So, like, if Elflin doesn't show up, I'd be shocked. And, I mean, they could just turn into de facto Elfalist, which would be super, super cool. I don't think any of the other randos from the thing could make it in, and that's about it. But it seems that there is a page for characters in Kirby right back at you. So, this is the Kirby anime, if you didn't know. And, it's funny because Sakurai, I think, had more of a hand in this than the modern games, because he was with HAL. The show was developed entirely within HAL, and he was with HAL at the time, so he did oversee the production of it. So for whatever reason, and like because it's loosely based on adventure, like Nightmare's the main villain, like you kind of like it kind of feels like Sakurai Kirby still. It is like they reference it way more than you think they would in modern games. In Star Allies, you can actually paint the octopus enemy. Heck, they already played, there's music from the anime that's straight ripped in Air Ride, and they played some of that music in the direct. Like, okay, look, I'm not gonna start sitting here and saying they gotta put in anime characters, but I would pop off so hard if they put Escargoon in this game. Like, you don't understand. He would be my main. I don't even know what he would do. I was like hoping he'd be a dream friend in Star Allies, because that would have just been, it would have been cool. It's simply something I want because it would be cool. Who is this character? For those who haven't watched the Kirby anime, which is probably a lot of the people watching this, he was essentially, as the wiki says, DDD's right-hand man and personal assistant. Basically, he was just, he just worked to kind of like have some banter with DDD all the time. DDD was very much a villain in the show, and it was probably his best villainous role because he's so funny. They're both portrayed by Ted Lewis. I don't know what he's up to nowadays. I think he was in Red Dead 2. That was like 6 years ago now, though. So, I mean, yeah. He did a fantastic job playing both characters. If we ever had the opportunity to hear DDD again, I'd be so pumped. I'd be over the moon. So now let's talk about bosses real quick. Bosses are a core part of the Kirby series, but there are quite a few that are characters, and maybe some that we could maybe justify being playable in this game. There's gonna be a lot of them, so okay, all right. We already got Wispy. Wispy's already been shown to be in City Trial. Same with Kracko. I don't know. I'm gonna skim through. I'm just gonna not talk about one. Lala could totally show up. I forgot about them. I can't think of much of what they would do, but I would be kind of surprised if they aren't in the game at all. I don't know. It's kind of something that I'm just imagining in my head that makes sense, right? Paint Roller would be cool. If we're not getting Adeline, I mean, we're getting Adeline, so I really think he would just do the same things as Adeline. That'd be cool. This is a terrible image of him. I hope I remember to edit a better picture of him in the actual video. But the Ice Dragon would be great. He's such a Blorbo. I love him. I would totally play as him. And we haven't mentioned any ice characters yet, so I think he'd be a good snow character to throw in there. They actually haven't even shown the ice ability, so I wonder if it does come. I assume it comes back, but yeah, no, this would be one that I would totally be down for 100%. Oh, Poppy Bros is here. I could just talk about Poppy Bros real quick. I feel like that's a kind of lock, honestly. Like, I could totally see them throwing in Junior or Senior or whatever, just like, you know, the guy who jumps around and throws the bombs. He could totally show up in here. I don't know what the I don't know what he would do, considering that like bomb is an ability, and I feel like that kind of is just what you would make Poppy Bros do. That's the weird thing, right? They put in Knuckle Joe, but Fighter is an ability in the game. They could be putting in Sir Kibble. There's like some like HUD asset that made it look like there was an enemy Sir Kibble, so there's probably a playable character Sir Kibble as well. But Cutter's already in the game, so I don't know. They'll probably come up with something interesting for him to do. What, like a superstar? Yeah, again, funny. Like, okay, a lot of these wouldn't really fit much at all. Heavy Lobster. Can there be like a tank machine that's just Heavy Lobster's carcass? I think that'd be the greatest thing ever. Can we get that, Sakurai? Like, come on, it's Heavy Lobster. Heavy Lobster doesn't come back enough. I don't think we've ever seen Heavy Lobster in 3D, actually, so I'd love that. That'd be great. Throw a Heavy Lobster in this game, just in some way, shape, or form. Magman. Oh yeah, that's a real one. There's like some diehard Kirby 64 fan that's totally talking about like HRH, who like really wants HRH in the game. Already talked about 02, yep. Okay, now we're on to Amazing Mirror. Yeah, I can't really picture many of these being playable. I don't know. Nothing's really speaking to me here. Squeak Squad. There's the other members of the Squeaks. There's of course Doc and Speedy and Goro. I don't really imagine them being playable, though. I'm not sure. So, okay, there's a lot that I don't know if I could really... Like, what is this? Lady Ivy? I've played through, like, the majority of Mass Attack. I think it's a great game, by the way. Just a little tedious towards the end. I don't think this character exists. I think they're making this up. I think they made that one up. Lady Ivy, I've never seen in my life. Oh, yeah. Return to Dreamland, that's what I'm talking about. Let's get Fatty Puffer in this game. Let's get Goliath. I can't really see any of these guys making it in. As much as I love Mr. Duder, and I'd love to be a Mr. Duder main, but I don't really think it happens. Megalor doesn't even turn into his... I would have imagined Megalor would turn into his final boss form for, like, his thing, but whatever. Maybe they don't like him using that. Same with Triple Deluxe. Yeah, this was kind of a lost cause going through these. I mean, like, I feel like we're gonna more so have a laugh looking at Kirby enemies. Look at the Claykin. Imagine if they put this guy in Air Riders and, like, you know, he just is a squid now. It's like, what's the point of calling him the Claykin? Because he's not made of clay, he's just a squid. It wouldn't make any sense. Play a robot, Clanky Woods. That'd be pretty funny. I wouldn't imagine it happening. Kirby. Okay, all right, let's skip through that because we got to talk about the enemies. A lot of these are just big enemies. Yep, more kind of, you know, not really. Pawn and Con. I forgot about Pawn and Con. We kind of skimmed through them. No, like they make children. I can't really think of anything else. They're very funny though. I always loved them. Remember Yiggy Woods? That was weird. And then they just coated them in gold and called them another boss. Grand Ma'am? I'm sorry, I forgot about Grand Ma'am. Oh, man. Void Termina. Guys, is Void Termina gonna be playable in this game? I think he's a bit too big. Can we have that conversation now? Can we start the Void Termina is too big conversations? That'd be really funny. Why is Galactonite even listed as a boss? You don't fight him in Star Allies. That was really funny. Imagine not playing a Kirby game and playing Star Allies and seeing him and being like, oh, I guess we're fighting that guy now. And then, like, no. That was really funny. Stuff from the post-game, DLC. Look at the Dreamland 3 background. So cool. Colossal Dribbly. It's an enemy. We can talk about enemies later. Oh, there's a better picture of the Ice Dragon. Look at how cute he is. He's such a Glorbus. I love him. He's like, we're gonna do a top 5 at the end of this video. Going over the top 5 ones that need to make it in. Fighters 2, these should be skins, whatever. Okay, I forgot. Silly Dillo. He's a silly guy. That's for sure. Okay, now I'm guessing, is there gonna be spoilers for the DLC at the bottom? No. Oh, we're just talking about Eternal Dreamlight Deluxe. This is more of that, and yeah, that's it. They don't have any thing yet. Okay, now we're on to mid-bosses. Mid-bosses are interesting. They are enemy-like, but they are a little beefier, a little bigger, you know? I could totally see a few of these guys sneaking in. Bonkers is a big one. He's a classic, you know? I feel like I want to say he makes it in, but he is a heavyweight with a hammer, and we already have that. I don't really see a reason to put it in. But one I do feel like we're going to get, Bugsy. Could you imagine you having the charge move? Imagine if you, like, every time you charge your vehicle, you turn a corner, you, like, dash forward, and if you touch someone, you, like, grab them and throw them. That would be amazing. That sounds really broken, but that would be, like, amazing. I would, like, oh my god, that would be... Bugsy is, like, currently up at the top right now. Fire Lion is funny. Grand Wheelie is funny. Like, these don't do that much. Bugsy's the one that I'm really thinking about because I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. So weird that they made a turtle and then they replaced him with an elephant in the remake. Very odd. Oh, Mr. Frosty, he's another ice guy. If Ice Dragon doesn't make it in, I could see Mr. Frosty doing all the same things that Ice Dragon does. And it probably would be the one that they'd go with since he's a Sakurai character. Again, we've already seen that doesn't really matter because we got Gooey, we got Suzy, we got Megalore. You know, there's a remix of Dark Mind boss theme that plays during the trailer, the direct at some point. Like, they don't really care, but maybe they'll be preferred. I don't know. Maybe they'll be like, let's do Mr. Frosty instead. Maybe that's one that is considered more iconic and recognizable. He's in more Kirby games also, so it would make sense. I would love Efreeti. I've always loved this little goober. Maybe I could like supersize the image for the video, but like he's just a black fur ball with white eyes and feet, and that's it. He's so funny. I like him. He's great. Captain Stitch. That is a Gordo. We'll talk about enemies later. Kawasaki. Again, like, we're looking at mid-bosses for a reason. Kawasaki's playable. He's in the game, you know? Dude, Yuki. Are we going to get Yuki in this game, guys? No. We're not getting Haboki. That is a broom. They didn't localize this game, but it came out in North America first. Okay, these are just bigger enemies. We'll talk about these enemies when we get to them. Boxer. Boxer is the most what the dog doing character in the Kirby series. I always kind of liked him for stupid reasons, but he doesn't make it in. I would be very surprised if Boxer made it into Kirby Air Riders. If Boxer makes it in, this is going to be a really funny video to look back on after we have the full roster. I imagine the roster will be like pretty big. We've seen 12 characters so far. City Trial has a guaranteed like a max of 16. So I feel like we could be looking at a maybe, I don't know if this is me, maybe this is wishful thinking, but I feel like 50 characters at least, right? Like, I feel like there's a big roster that we barely know even a fraction of. Oh, maybe Bubbloo. Maybe Bubbloo, guys. You get to throw bubbles at everybody. Yeah, let's get Bubbloo. They're going to put Boxer and Bubbloo in this game now that I said all this. They're not going to put anybody else we talk about today. They're just going to put those two characters in. Block Waddle Dee from Kirby Mass Attack. No, that's a classic right there. Freezy Rex. I don't really think about. I don't think about these guys very often. I think about the sub games of Mass Attack. Look at that bonkers render. It's like he heard me say that I don't think he's getting in the game, and he's just mad at me. Gigant Edge. This is one that shows up regularly. He's a sword enemy. If they're not gonna do like Blade Knight or Sword Knight, maybe throw him in instead. I don't really. Nothing really specific. Again, these are like more cooler versions of standard enemies. Moundo's cool. Blocky's cooler, but Moundo, he's like angry. He's angry. Oh, the Sphere Doomers. I forgot about the Sphere Doomers. Like, I can't think of anything, like, unique, but I think they'd be really cool. They'd be really cool characters. They probably, similarly to Starman and Meta Knight, they'd probably get rid of their vehicle, when they do their super. But yeah. Okay, what else? Fire Robot. They Bonkers got jaw surgery. Okay, yeah, they just put bolts and cutter in a kibble blade and called it a day. Ms. Moros! I love the Poison. Poison is actually my favorite copy ability in the entire franchise, funnily enough. A little fun G fact. You know, watch, I'll do a copy abilities ranked video someday, and people will be like, you said Poison was your favorite. Why is Mecha listed as that? Whatever. Poison's the best ability, my favorite ability in the entire series. I think it's really fun to use. It's got a lot of fun properties. It's like they took water and kind of mixed it up a little bit. Like they gave it like, I love it. I think it's a great one. It really needs to come back in a 2D or 3D game soon. That being said, do I want Ms. Moros in? I think it's cool because he's clearly like a Galboros. Yeah, he's clearly supposed to be a Galboros, but he's like mucky. He's like muck. He's like muck from Pokemon, but I mean, I'd be down. No, I'd be down to see him. Yeah, we got more of the same here. Vividria is the artist ability. It's cool. It's cool. And again, once again, we have the Forgotten Land. I forgot they like redesign all the. It's really funny because they like gave everybody these like wild forms as mid bosses, but then they introduced a new one, and it's not because they'll eventually bring that one back. I'm sure it's a boss for Tornado. Like Tornado's a pretty frequent ability. They're gonna bring it back, and it's just gonna look like that. I mean, maybe the feathers. Maybe it'll be bald. Yeah, maybe they'll be bald. Okay. The moment you've all been waiting for, let's talk about the enemies. Look, they revealed Cappy and they revealed Starman. Anything's possible. Okay. Benny. Guys, is Benny gonna be... Benny. Blopper. Not Blooper, Blopper. And Blipper. You know, Blipper is in every... I love this. You have, like, their first appearance and their latest appearance. So, like, you got Blipper, right? Latest appearance was Return of Dreamland Deluxe, you know, the most recent, like, game in the series. Blopper's for latest appearance was Kirby Street Land. He has not come back. He's great. He only appears in extra mode. He replaces Cappy, so technically this is just Cappy, but it's a bean. Okay, Bronto Burt is one we've seen on tracks, but we also have seen Cappy on tracks. So really, Bronto Burt could be playable. I just can't think of much that they would do. I'm thinking, again, they're a flying creature. Someone like Ku and maybe Wingo, we'll see Wingo a little bit later, could probably do more interesting things than Bronto Bird. I just don't see a reason. Broomhatter, Broomhatter's totally getting in this game. They're totally putting Broomhatter in this game. Look at this little grunkle. Just faceless yellow creature who wears a witch's hat and carries a broom. He's already in spotted in there, right? He's got to be playable. He's got to be playable. Imagine this thing with other hats. I mean, like, what would he even do? I don't know. Maybe he'd, like, create like maybe as you charge your vehicle, it'd create, like, a little dust cloud or something. And, like, it would slow down other characters. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Cocken. Yeah, Cocken this. Okay. Koner. I'm a Dizzy stan. I love Dizzy. Dizzy's the GOAT. This is what he looks like? I thought that was Dizzy. I thought Dizzy was only in Pinball Land. It's just Kirby, but he sticks his tongue out. He's white. He has a cone on his head and doesn't have arms. These are peak designs. I don't know what you're talking about. Guys, is Coconut gonna make it? I mean, like, look, again, I think Sakurai, he has a pretty high wall to climb. You know, in the 20-something years since Kirby Air Ride came out, we've seen some pretty crazy kart racer characters. Need I remind everyone of the Iron Checkpoint crate from Crash Team Racing Nitro Field. You know, Sakurai's got a lot of competition here. Glunk. Glunk, icon, in every game in the series. Perfect attendance record. What is Glunk? Glunk is a stationary, greasy enemy with googly eyes that shoots projectiles. That's his mouth? That's his mouth? Oh my god. Okay, no. Sakurai actually has to put Glunk in because the, like, capture animation is going to be him, like, reaching over and just sucking it in to his little, like, little testa tubes at the top of his head. I love Kirby designs, dude. This is my favorite shit. Grizzo would do nothing. I can't think of anything unique about Grizzo, like, whatsoever. He is a bear, and that is it. He's adorable, and they should make a plush of him immediately. He should be in the game. I think he should be an enemy in the game. They put the golem for Amazing Mirror in the game, so, I mean, like, yeah, he makes sense. Kaboo. Kaboo wouldn't do anything. I genuinely can't think of a reason to put Kaboo in the game, but Kaboo could be in the game. Mr. P, it replaces Two-Face. Who's from Batman? Bobby Rose Jr. already talked about, very likely. Scarfy is seen. I really can't imagine Scarfy being playable. Shotzo. Like, could you imagine, though? Like, it'd be really funny. I think that's the Iron Checkpoint crate. If they put Shotzo in, I'm meaning Shotzo. Squishy.
Squishy.
Like Kirby's Avalanche, they fully voice act all the characters. And when you get to Squishy stage, they just say, like, Squishy. That's like the name, the voice. That's the take they chose.
Squishy.
He, again, like, I'm trying to think of things these characters could do before I just say, yeah, let's put them in. Bounder. Why is this the render they chose for Chili? He's like, why is he doing that? Cool Spook. This one's in. No, Cool Spook isn't in Air Riders. It's like a different enemy, but it gives you the light. No, it doesn't even give you the light ability. They just illuminate the area. I mean, whatever. They're not putting Cool Spook in the game. They're not putting Flamer or Hothead in the game. Maybe they're putting Hot. No, they're not putting Hothead in the game. Pengy? Pengy's a classic. There was an episode of the anime where a bunch of Pengy show up and say we're taking over the country. And there's like, they all wear like these Pengy skin suits. And there's like this one shot of Meta Knight in one, and he just walks around, and then he lifts up the mouth, and it's his face. It's so adorable. It's actually the cutest thing ever. Sparky deserves nothing. Sparky deserves nothing because there's someone we're gonna see in a little bit. Like that. This is what I mean. Why is Starman playable? Like, look, all these characters are just like, you know, they're like random artwork from over the years. That's a Smash tier render right there. That's his Smash Brothers render because he's playable in Kirby damn Air Riders. There's gonna be some dumbass. I'm like, I probably am skipping someone. Is that frog's name literally Slippy? They just didn't care. He's known as Sir Slippy in Dreamland 2. At least they just didn't give a shit. Twister. Oh yeah, Twister's the next big thing. You're all gonna be talking about Twister in like 2 weeks. Wheelie is a vehicle. Wheelie is a car in the game. I don't think he'll be playable. Oh, Big Kaboo. Big Kaboo first appears in Pinball Land? No, really? That's crazy. Bouncy first appears. I swear Bouncy was in Adventure. Okay, well, yeah, Bouncy would be really funny. I actually would be down for Bouncy. That one I could see happening. These are... Yes. Sorry, why do they call him Wingo? His name's Birdon. Birdon, I think, could get in. He would behave the way I'm expecting Ku to behave, where he would throw out three feather projectiles. And like, you know, I don't know, that's just what I'm imagining. Like, I think they'd be kind of the same character, so throw them both in, or throw Birdon in and then give us Rick for our animal hamster dude. Biospark. Oh, dude, Biospark's so sick. Biospark is actually goated. I love when they brought him back in Star Allies. Like, he's a cool design. You know, he's not very ninja-like when I look at him, but he does look pretty cool. I'd be down to have him in here. He'd be very sneaky. He could maybe teleport around, you know. Capsule J is just not allowed to exist anymore, but maybe Sakurai will bring him back. Gim! How can I forget about Gim? Gim's gotta get in. Oh, they gotta put Gim in the game, guys. Gim is so cool. He's got a hat, and he throws a yo-yo around. Like, I mean, like, come on. I don't think I need to explain to you. Gim is a requirement, almost. Well, no. Simmirror is cute. Mirror is another one of my favorite copy abilities, so I would love to see Simmirror appear. Waki apparently was... I mean, yeah, Mike ability was shown, so I guess that makes sense. Tak was visible, too. That's interesting. I know he was in the old one. Bottom. They're not putting Bottom. If they put Bottom on in this game, this is the greatest game ever made. I'm sorry. Kokori. I forgot that was Kokori. They put like Pekori. They call him Pekori in the anime, and he's like a... What? It doesn't matter. Kokori, for some reason, was brought back in Forgotten Land, and that was a really cool thing, because that means there's a very high-quality model of Kokori out there. I don't really expect them to get into Forgotten Land. Como could. Como would be really funny. They gave Como legs. They took this design and made it like a dude who walks around in Star Allies, so I can totally see it happening. Joe. Why not? Why not? We salute Biden. Sure, Biden. Why not? Yeah. Yeah, let's put him in. Put him in. What else is he doing? What else is he doing? He's not running the country anymore. He might as well. This is a very clever reference to the film Kiki's Delivery Service by Pixar. Over here we got Mopu. Yeah. You want to see Mopu? I don't think you do. I really don't think you do. Pacto first appears in... Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. They should put Pacto. They should make Pacto playable. Pop-On! It's not Mama. It's Pop-On. Everybody's... If you've seen, like, one thing from the... If you've seen, like, 10 things from the anime, you've seen the clip of Kirby taking up a big one of those, putting him in a frying pan, and just tossing him around the sun, and he comes back deep-fried. Like, that's the kind of shit. And then DD eats. It's pretty good. I'm gonna talk about that show at some point on the corner. Zebon! It's the canon. They didn't want to make a canon, so they made it sentient goop. I mean, he's guaranteed, basically. He's like a lock, honestly. Chat room. Kirby 64, the Crystal Shards. This is the one. Immediately after the direct, my friends and I sat down and we watched a video of the enemy card index in this game, and some of the characters. Okay, Bumber. He's an orange with an umbrella on his head. Sure, why not? Let's get Cha-Cha in here. Bald child. Bald maraca using child. Karen. That's 3 rocks. Its name is Karen. Emp. They didn't want to bring back Pengu. No. They wanted to make a new penguin. Emp is a generational icon who never shows up in the series again. Pengu only makes one more appearance after this game anyway. That Fishbone. Now look, honestly, looking at how Mario Kart went, Fishbone could be a playable character. Maybe they do it for those. I could, honest to God, maybe like a 2% chance. Like Fishbone. He's 3 triangles. It's just 3 triangles. Frigis. We got Hack. I think Hack makes so much sense. He's an axe with feet. I mean, that's like the moveset potential. That's a butterfly. It's not the butterfly, but it's a butterfly. Glom has a render. Glom is an official render made. We got P. I think it's... Or no, sorry, not P. I had to zoom in. It's actually I cubed. See, it's because he's an I and he's a rhombus. Okay, next up we've got NZ. This is like the... So, everyone, let's just have a real talk for a minute. You guys think Pedo's gonna make it into Kirby Air Rider? They didn't localize any of these games back in the day. I don't even know what to say. Okay. Let's quit the jokes. We have a serious talk. You want to know who's number 1. You want to know who, above all else, needs to get in. My man, Plug! Whoa! Plug, baby. Plug? I mean, it says it. Look, he's a plug with feet. He's a plug with feet. They brought him back in Star Allies. They didn't change a thing about him. They just made him smoother and more high-end, high-def. And because it's Star Allies, that means he's the playable helper character. And because he's a playable helper character, that means you could run through the entire speedrun campaign as him. And he has his own little subtitle. I forget what it's called. This is like my guy. He was also in Fighters 2 as an item, but he's not an enemy in that game. Needs to be made. That's why it says Star Allies here, because in Fighters 2 he is not an enemy. Plug! It's Plug, everybody! Yes. I mean, yes. Plug has to make it in. If they're putting an enemy in to represent Plasma, then we got Knuckle Joe in, fighters in the game. Put Plug in the game. Plug is I'm not shitting you here. Plug is actually my number 1 character. What would he do differently than the Plasma ability? Maybe when you press the button like to charge. If you take off, like a lightning bolt strikes that spot, kind of like the spark ability, but it is plasma. I don't know. That's my read. Otherwise, I have no idea. But Plug needs to make it into this game. Punk. Scud! My guy Scud! Chat, what do we think about Scud? None of these characters are getting in. I'm just going to break it to you right now. None of these... Wispy Woods Jr. is not getting in. Every time I show someone Wispy Woods Jr., they're like, Wispy Woods Jr. needs to be in every Kirby game. I got bad news for you. He showed up in one game and he's never coming back. None of these characters are going to make it in because they're all from a game that Sakurai definitely has never played in his life. He might have beta tested it because he was like the general Kirby series director for a bit, but he didn't have anything to do with this game. Let's keep going. These enemies apparently debuted in Nightmare and Dreamland. I don't believe that for some reason. Well, now we're just talking about the original era, right? This is what gave you the wing ability. Did they even actually, wait, did they even show wing? I don't think they showed wing yet. I assume it comes back. They didn't show wing and they didn't show ice. I assume those two come back, but who knows? Heat Fan. They were too afraid to bring back Heat Fan. They had to make up a new fire enemy, I guess. Or maybe he's playable. That doesn't matter. They would have made him an enemy anyway. Boxing. Cooking. Chip gets to come back. They kept bringing Chip back because they like him. And I mean, he is pretty cute. I'll admit, he at least deserves like 5 points on the should be in the game scale. Gollum is an enemy in the game. That doesn't mean shit, but I feel like he's not going to make it. I thought his name was just straight up Frank. I wouldn't have even been surprised. His name is Prank. He's a prankster. Okay, I understand now. Snooter! He's a little snooter, everybody. And this guy's a Sorar. Snooter is like a 70% chance. Sorar is like a negative 27% chance. These guys, Blado gets to come back. Blado is like allowed to leave Canvas Curse Purgatory. I don't think any of these guys come back. Nope, sorry. Spear Waddle Dee is first introduced. Wait, Snoopy? That guy's from Canvas Curse? I had no idea. I thought this was like a Sanrio character. I'm like the fakest Kirby fan of all time. I've actually never beaten Canvas Curse. I think it's a great game, but I've never beaten it because I play. I'll like boot it up on one of my like 7 DSs and I'll just like give up after 5 minutes. Yeah, Snoopy should get in for sure. So we got Hothead. What about Bubblehead? Anyway, Gaga. Guys, I don't think Gaga's gonna make it. Okay, come on. There's gotta be some. I need a banger here. I need a classic character to really pair it. He's Heath Ledger Joker. That's not what it is. I would love Rosalie. Low-key, Rosalie kind of cracks my top 5. Okay, because Lovey is like funny, happy flower. Rosalie is the hard mode version. And so instead of being just a generic flower, it's a rose, and it's like a very intricately designed rose. Look, it's got like a ball as its joint. I think Lovey did as well, but forget about that. It's got those little flowers. It looks very intimidating. It looks like someone I'd be taking with me to like a fancy restaurant. I'm gonna be honest, or it would be the decor at the restaurant. Honestly, Rosalie is easily in my. I joke, but Rosalie probably ends up in my top 10 or 20. Okay. I gotta talk about the guys who are literally made out of buttons. They're buttons. Button Fly. Button Bug. Button Bee. Bo Waddle Dee never came back for some. I would really laugh my ass off if Bo Waddle Dee debuted in Extra Epic Yarn and then like Blowout Blast was listed as like the most recent appearance. Yeah, again, none of these guys. I don't even. Soldier. This guy's name is Sneak Sack. Snip Snap. Spore Jelly. Space Jelly. That's just a Waddle Dee in a car. Remember when he drove a car? Wait, what? That's... Huh? A relative of Wispy Woods that drops Gordos from its canopy and keep... That... I mean, I guess there were multiple of them in that stage, but like... I thought that was Wispy... I mean, it is Wispy Woods, but apparently it's not. It's Twiggy Woods. You know, Wispy Woods, but smaller. Smaller Woods theory, if you will. Okay, let's keep going here. Beanbon is peak character design. Okay, actually, let's talk about this. Beanbon has unfortunately not come back. Beanbon is the Waddle Dee of Mass Attack. But you see, it makes sense because in that game, Kirby is a small Kirby. And there's 10 of them. So Waddle Dees are a lot bigger now, right? Like, you can't just resize the Waddle Dees. That doesn't make any sense. Forget about Mini Waddle Dee. It doesn't count. So let's introduce a new enemy that is the Waddle equivalent. I think that was a very cute idea, and I think the design is really striking. Again, this one is literally just a bean with yellow feet. He's got like the tribal markings. That's kind of weird, actually. I don't know if you want to... Can we, like, redesign him? Give him, like, the blush marks? Yeah, but Beanbon would be great. Or Big Mumbon. Where's Mumbon? Is there no regular... They should introduce Mumbon as a brand new character in Kirby Air Riders. None of these guys ever come back. What? Blipper. You guys seeing this one? That's just a purple Blipper. I swear there's already... No, it's blue. No, that's purple. Maybe I'm colorblind, but that looks purple to me. Okay, Deco Floof. Crazy Stactus. Oh, okay, this one does look a little different. Kirby's encounter and knock into a river. Oh, so you use it. Oh, you use his carcass as a boat. That's adorable. I think he'd be a fantastic addition. I think as a vehicle. Can we use... He should be the vehicle. The Wispy Woods car. Fufu. This has gone completely off the rails. I haven't found an enemy that I've wanted. Oh my god, this one actually came back. That one actually left Mass Attack Purgatory. Why did Grindar? What the fuck asked for Grindar? Little Woods. He's Wispy Woods, but he's sick. He's got a red nose. It's so cute. Okay, let's think. Okay, there's Mumbon. Why was he so much low? Oh, probably because alphabetical, right? Rockhand. I thought that said Rockhard. Scully! You know, remember that meme where it's like the skeletons have appeared? That used Mass Attack music. It's from whenever they show up. They show up to try and like take the Kirbys and kill them. Harmless and invincible, a mustachioed relative of Wispy Woods that blows the Kirbys around. It's like the original Iggy Woods. This one is wobbly. They should have had like a whole Wispy... I think the next Kirby game should have a Wispy Woods family fight. Oh, that'd be so cool. You go there and you think it's just Wispy Woods, but there's like 7 of them. That'd be sick. They should totally do that. Okay, return to Dreamland. Now we got some real classic characters like Bulby and Clayon. None of these are classics. I don't know what I'm talking about here. These are... Germa! It's Gemra, but pretend it says Germa for the bit. Germa could be an enemy if they want. Iron Barbar. That guy's scary. They should put him in the game. He'd be a good stage hazard. If they have like another lava course akin to Magma Flows, I think he'd actually fit right in. He'd look great in the game. Key D. I'm not allowing any monkeys to show up. So we could have the Waddle Dee that looks like a monkey. Merman. That's not a merman. Maybe it is a statue though. Pierce. Fluid. His name is Fluid, chat. What do we think of Fluid? He's a water drop with 2 eyes. I swear that guy was in an older game. But I guess not. I guess I'm wrong. Snowl. I would have told. That's what I would have told you to call him. That's what they weren't trying. Kumazaki's a hack. Kumazaki's a talentless hack. He didn't know what he was doing here. None of these guys are making it in because they're just the super ability enemies. Water Galbor first appears in this game. I just put Ice Dragon in. Whippy, Beatley, Cloud, Acrobat. There's not a lot of like new original enemies in Triple Deluxe. Ghost Gordo. Wait, Ghost Gordo first appears here? I could have sworn that was a Canvas Curse enemy. Mammoth. That's right. Yep, these are enemies in Triple Deluxe. You know what? I can't say that because this game has the guy with the sniper. Okay, so Archer Kirby is actually called Sniper Kirby in Japan. I just want to let everybody know that. He needs to be in the game. He's like top 10 enemies to get in the game, I think. Yeah, I mean, like, he's a dude with a hat, with a fedora and an arrow. I mean, like, he's like, yes, what does he do? He shoots you. He just shoots you. Okay, actually, hang on, that's a lie. When we get to the dog gun. Chipperus was apparently original to Planet Robot. They made Capsule J3. It's the Capsule J2, but they changed him. I think this is the enemy that gives you Jet in the game? I have no idea. We haven't seen them, I don't think. Grand Propeller. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, they brought back Propeller from, Dreamland 3, it was just an enemy with like, it was just a teardrop with a propeller on his head. But this time he's a robot and he's big and he's scary. It's cool, I like it. You know, put him in the game. Just fuck it, just put him in the game. I think he'd be cool. NESP, that'd be another cool one, okay? NESP and like the Arrow Archer guy are like 2 other big copy ability enemies that I'd love to see get in. Oh, wait! Forget about Ms. Morrows, put Venog in the game. Oh, dude, oh my god. Like, don't you imagine how funny it'd be, the trailer that reveals Venog? Then you could be like, who is this frog guy? And then he just starts vomiting over the track. Press A to vomit, kids. Wester is a much better whip enemy than the other guy. Yeah, he's great. Does Toribo make it? No, Toribo doesn't make it. Battle Royale is never going to get acknowledged by Nintendo ever again unless we get 3DS Switch Online and they've added 17 games to it. There's a lot here. Toodlebam. That guy's cool. I like Toodlebam. Dribbly. Again, I don't care for water. We need to put in Venog. Give him let him vomit all over the place. Okay, there we go. I forgot his name was just straight up Bernard. That's a dog pun. I don't remember, but his name is he's just Bernard. That's the race of creature that we're looking at right here. Bernard. Yeah. Yeah, come on. Like, obviously, it's a Forgotten Land character, and they're going to want to have Forgotten Land references in this game. Bernard, the Arrow guy, Venog, and NESP need to get in the game, basically, is what I'm trying to say here. Those would be fantastic character picks. Yeah, no, Bernard, I mean, like, he has a gun. Like, it's the, who I want to play as, who do you want to play as? You want to play as a Kirby, Starman, King Dedede, or the dog with the musket? But maybe, I feel like the Archer guy does have more of a shot, because I think he would look better in this game, but Bernard is a very cool design. And I would be very thrilled to see either. Mookie is a monkey with a hammer. Dedede, again, already has a hammer, but there is no monkey representation in this game yet, and I feel like we need to see a monkey. So, Mookie, I would not mind. I would not mind Mookie whatsoever. Surprise alien board, I think that's where we have to draw the line. I think that's a bit too much. He doesn't even damage you. Oh, yeah, and then these two. Yeah. Yeah, sure, they're cool. I mean, like, they are very clearly, like, they were very clearly well-designed since they were some of the only new designs they had to come up with for Return to Dreamland Deluxe. And I think both of those abilities are both fantastic abilities because of that as well. Sandran, he's cute. He's a little dinosaur feller. He's like, I love him. I want to play Return to Dreamland again. This is making me want to replay Return to Dreamland. It's like one of my favorite Kirby games of all time. Did you know? But yeah, shortlist enemies only appear in sub-games. Yeah, those are certainly enemies that only appear in sub-games. Do I know who any of them are? Crap! Crap? His name is Crap. Are we for real right now? I'm backing, because he's number one. Obviously. Obviously, he has to make it into the game. Okay, so I think if we're being real here, the top, like, 10, or top 5, like, my biggest ones, I already talked about, like, the major characters that are probably locks. Again, Adeline is gonna be fantastic. Can't wait to play as Adeline when they reveal her. Can't wait to see what they do with her. I'm actually a big Taranza fan. I didn't really mention that earlier, but like, I'm not like super pumped to see if he gets in. That'd be cool. Thinking about the switching concept, I think 3 Mage Sisters would be fantastic. Again, as I mentioned earlier. And yeah, then I guess that just kind of leaves us with the basic enemies. Plug is easily, I think it's like, right now, it's like, I can't wait to see Plug and Adeline show up in this game, honestly, because Plug would be fantastic. Plug, Adeline, and Venog. Again, it's just 2 abilities. Like, I love Plug. Plug's a little guy. Spark's also been Spark and Plasma have also been abilities that I've always loved, because they are just, you know, charge up your dude and then shoot big projectiles. But Venog would be just such a treat, especially since I feel like that's an enemy that isn't going to come back, unless they really want to bring back Poison for some reason. Yeah, those would be great. I'm trying to remember if there are any other banger ones that I'm forgetting about. Because I feel like it was kind of just like the characters are cool and the enemies are cool. This video definitely ended up being way longer than I thought it was going to be. We'll see if I edit it anytime soon. But yeah, yeah, keep yourselves cornered for more on Kirby Air Riders, and whatever this was that I just did here. Again, many options here. Sakurai has a lot of options, and I'm sure he picked all of them like 3 years ago, but forgetting about that, I am thrilled to see what they're gonna reveal for this game in the coming months. Absolutely thrilled. Keep yourselves cornered. I will see you all soon.